You can nosy around camp, but watch it. The docks are restricted. Even I'm not allowed down there. If you come back bleeding, don't say I didn't warn you.
Looks like trouble ahead. The Divine Order kind of trouble. Right where I want you.
Prepare yourself.
lot have outlived your usefulness.
Hounds, take them down.
Back to the map. You lot have outlived
Greet the Reaper for me.
to the matter is, you lot have were useful. Useful as a good hammer is to a stone.
Such slaughter. This is terrible.
Yes, terrible. Let's see if they have anything of value.
You shut your eyes tight. Sheer terror courses through you, cut short by a length of razor-sharp steel passing through your neck. Your surroundings somersault around you. You find yourself lying on your side, gazing up at the curious sight of your own decapitated body teetering off its knees to the floor. Everything grows dark. The spirit grins as he sees you, a grin that contains madness, or something as close to it as makes no difference.
So, are you a servant to the king, here to bring me back?
He laughs bitterly.
I've got time. I can wait.
The Aeteran. The Aeteran! It spoke to me. Called me to it. But I can't sense it anymore. Where is it? Oh, where could it be?
The spirit gazes around, clearly looking for something, but does not register your presence at all. The spirit sways from foot to foot, as if dazed from a fistfight. He looks right through you, hollow eyes empty and endless, the fugiline color of the void. The tiniest glimmer of light flickers in them, then dies out. Gazing into his eyes, you see the tiny spark of source flicker again. Catching it like a pearl, you see a reflection on its surface. The spirit as a younger man. You see him joining the Black Ring, zealous and proud. You see his commander, a shadowy, horrifying figure that seems to flit in and out of existence. You see the recruit's determined eyes, heading for battle with the Magisters. You see him captured by Dallis, chained and leashed. You see him deep in a cave, using Source to break through a magical barrier, trying, failing, trying again, failing in exhaustion. The Source Pearl you gaze into grows dark and disappears. You are left with the endless blackness, blacker than black, of the spirit's depthless eyes. taps his foot, arms crossed tight across his chest.
Why are you wasting everyone's time? Get to the site before the Empress sees! What are you doing? There's work waiting. She'll kill us both, you know. Bet you and the Empress would have gotten along great. Too vicious to care about anyone else. Good riddance.
The spirit of a man cowers on the floor of the cell, his head tucked down. An unseen hand yanks his head up by the hair. His wide, panicked eyes find his tormentor. His lips part to plead. But before he can, a slash opens across his throat. Ghostly silver sprays forth, his eyes bulge. He clutches his hands around his neck and pitches forward to the ground, twitching. The spirit of an elven woman holds her palms upward. A hesitant, peacemaking gesture, she steps forward and suddenly jerks to a halt. One of her hands moves to her stomach. It comes away, coated in a silvery, spectral blood. She looks right through you, to her murderer. Her expression drowns in confusion and shock. Her knees buckle. She drops to the floor, soundlessly. Her hands clasped together, the spirit of a woman mumbles silent prayers to herself. Unseen hands force her to her knees. Her lips move more rapidly. There's a faint sound next to you, like an echo, the metallic rasp of a sword being unsheathed. Your hand passes through the spirit, but with a little resistance. For a moment, you connect with her. The woman's spirit seems to sense it also. She looks up, oddly serene, and locks eyes with you. Her lips part to say something.
Am I dead? Are you a god?
An echoing swish heralds a blur of silver passing through the spirit's neck, back to front. Her head topples forward, followed by the rest of her a brief moment later. The spirit of a dwarf raises his fists against an unseen foe. He silently curses at them and throws a punch. The spirit strikes out at thin air near the cell door. The spirit pivots, sensing another assailant. He draws a fist back again, and suddenly freezes, his back arching in silent agony. He sinks to his knees, otherworldly silver blood blossoming from a wound between his shoulder blades. The turtle barely glances at you as she moves slowly across the beach, making a slow, slow path towards the building by the docks. The wizened old turtle peers up at you inquisitively as she makes her slow, slow path across the beach.
Smells good, eh? Smells so good. Can you smell it? Silly. I mean the rich, warm, red smell of raw meat. Quartermistress Anna, saint of a woman, sometimes throws me some for dinner. Now I smell so much in that building over there. I can hear it too. Covered with flies. My favorite. Adds a bit of crunch.
The turtle nods her head sagely and tremulously turns to resume her dignified procession towards dinner. The spirit of a white Magister scowls at your presence.
Get away from me, sorcerer! Filth! You'll get nothing out of me. Nothing! What? No, wait. I'll tell you. We had orders to bring down the wall. They thought there was more to find beyond it. That's all I know, I swear.
The spirit meets her fate with an intense scowl.
Best avoid any open flames around this lot.
Your footsteps fall into a heavy rhythm, like a pickaxe striking stone. A dozen pickaxes working in labored unison. Your hands feel empty. Why isn't there a pickaxe in them, joining the crew? The steady rhythm of the pickaxes is drowned out by a sonorous growl. There's no hint of life anywhere, only the noise, only the heat. A hot breath spills across your shoulders from high above. In that heat is a memory, a dwarf yearning to dig, unable to stop. The archaeologist led his crew for months, digging for a beast's bones. His empress needed them to forge a set of armor. A single sharp claw pierces your soul and twists. Something jagged fills your hand, a potent rune of fire.
This small token is a promise of greater things to come. Bind the armor set together once more, and be rewarded. You must wander far to find more of the armor. Travel to the Nameless Land and follow the symbols of the dragon worshippers.
As the voice fades from your ears, a sigil appears in the air above you, a flaming arrowhead. The armor you bear surges with a cold pulse in response, seeking your attention.
I've seen places like this in books. Never thought I would see something like this in reality. This is the archaeological discovery of a lifetime. What a way to die, down here in this darkness. Poor soul. Amardia, the mother of wizards.
True god, stout of heart and fierce of face.
Blessed Solstice, an elegant god for our elegant people. Zantedza, the goddess of mirth, worshipped by imps. The god of the orc, Vrogir.
Relic. I used to pray to you when I was young.
That's it.
Just when I think this land holds no more surprises, I find myself in some place even more dismal than the last. Still, at least this is an interesting variation on dismal.
What infernal business is this? I wonder what they did in life to deserve such a resting place.
As the creature crawls from the sarcophagus, you hear a gasp of breath. Fane steps forward, never taking his eyes off her.
I must speak to her. It is vital. Please, stand aside.
You hear a gasp from the creature as Fane steps forward. It speaks in a hissing, clicking language that seems both completely alien and somewhat familiar. Fane raises his head and responds in the same jolting, clicking tongue. He seems to be pleading with the creature, his hands outstretched. The creature looks down at him and shrieks in rage. Her gestures are quick, strong, and violent. Whatever she said, it seems to have devastated your friend. The verbal barrage continues, but something changes within Fane. He looks up and golden light pours from his skull. When he speaks next, you understand every word, but you're not sure the words are his own.
Aetera, Aetera. I had hoped to see you turn to dust in this tomb. Alone, forgotten, with only your secrets for comfort.
Lady Amadia? You possess him? Have you fallen so far that you seek shelter within that? Does your vessel even know what you did? The war you started? The greed and avarice that saw you betray the Eternals?
The glow fades, and Fane seems to return to himself. He staggers slightly, exhausted by everything that's happened. The creature turns away from him and, panting, turns to you. The creature looks down from its perch, trembling. It crawled out of that sarcophagus as if it had forgotten how to move its limbs. It turns to you, and you see its face is covered by an intricate mask. From behind its unmoving lips, you hear a noise. It starts as a groaning, croaking chatter, but slowly becomes more distinct. It's speaking.
Mais Saravel te de larontu, Chamery?
The stream of noise cuts off abruptly. After a moment, you hear a jolting, lurching voice.
It wears the face of Zol Stissa, but speaks the tongue of beasts. How cruel. I suspected the Seven Lords won the war after they locked me here, but seeing their faces on dumb creatures, a depressing confirmation. Gods? What is this senseless braying? The Seven Lords were Eternals, just as I am.
Deep within your soul, you feel your god stirring at the sound of the voice. You can feel its anger and fear swelling inside you. The creature leans forward to get a better look at you, clucking and tutting under her breath.
It seems to be a simple form at its core, a source vat. A walking, unfortunately talking, source vat. Fascinating. I wonder how to extract the source from the vessel without...
She pulls back suddenly, recoiling in horror.
It is rotting. Almost imperceptibly, but it decays before my eyes. It must have no more than a century or two left.
The god within you reacts. Her emotions a cocktail of fury and fear. You hear her voice, demanding that you give her control, demanding your body obey her will.
Aetera you were. An eternity locked away was too good for you. I should have seen you ground to dust and fed to the wind. Your heresies deserve nothing less.
The figure recoils, as if struck.
Zol Stissa? What happened to you? Did you truly fall so far?
Silence. It is your king that has fallen. He and all the other eternal cowards were flung into the void. And the power you were too scared to hunt has made me a god.
And yet here you stand, small, weak, decaying. I will not even need the Aeteran to grind you into the dust.
You feel your god freeze at the mention of this Aeteran, a cold terror settling in your chest.
Where is it?
Ha! Of course you never found it. You always lacked imagination, my lady. I hid it in these very caves, although I can feel its distance now. Someone has uncovered it. Perhaps they intend to flay the godliness from you. No matter. Given your pathetic state, It is mine to collect at my leisure. As for that monstrosity you have made your shell, it was designed to die, and I think it is time that design were fulfilled. Do not worry. The source shall not be wasted. It will carry me from this tomb. It will bring me freedom at last.
warriors.
Glory is mine. Hurts, doesn't it?
The air suddenly feels thick, like it's grown musty after concealing a lie for so long.
Pick at one line before you know it, you'll find 6 more. I expect to have some questions for the gods if they ever emerge from whatever hole they've ducked into.
They lied. I can't believe it. I mean, of course they lied to you, look at you. But they also lied to me.
So, the gods are liars. I can't say I'm surprised.
spirit's memory, in its madness, dances in your mind. You are a sensate, deaf and mute, but gifted with an unnatural ability. Dallis seeks you out and brings you here into the darkness. When the blindfold falls, Dallis bids you find and free a secret power. You close your eyes, and you feel the presence of a hidden truth. You point at it and open your eyes. You are pointing at Dallis. The hammer calmly bids you try again, then steps back into the shadows. You close your eyes once more. Now the vault before you sings to you. You raise your hand to it. It opens to your touch. From the vault, you take a sword. It's weightless, yet it feels extremely powerful. More powerful even than Dallis herself, and yet fragile. A hand falls upon your shoulder. A blade crosses your throat. Blood pours. Dallis whispers, "Good girl," and then all goes quickly dark.
Aeteran. What an incredible discovery.
As strong as Aetera was weak, the pedestal seems empty, as if it once supported something powerful. You surmise that this was once the resting place of the Aeteran, until it was torn free and borne away. If this is what Dallis was looking for, then she has claimed her prize.
This must be where the Magisters found the Aeteran.